Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. On the show this evening, I asked the question, how strong is the legal case against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal? This is being looked at politically, it's being looked at electorally, but how strong is the legal case? That's my top focus on the Newstrack.
Kejriwal arrest showdown escalates. ED brands Kejriwal's scam kingpin. Delhi CM rakes up electoral bonds. Aam Aadmi Party questions Sharath Reddy's role. How strong is the case against Kejriwal? Big focus on Newstrack.
At the center of the Delhi Liquorgate scam probe is 39-year-old Hyderabad-based businessman Sharath Chandra Reddy, who was initially an accused in this case and later turned a prover. It is his statement naming Arvind Kejriwal that was crucial to the arrest of the Delhi Chief Minister. The Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal himself claims that Reddy donated over 50 crore rupees in electoral bonds to the BJP, which is what the AAP claims led to him getting bail in this case. Take a look at this report.
A high-profile businessman on the board of India's second-largest pharmaceutical company, valued at over rupees 63,000 crore. P. Sharath Chandra Reddy, now at the center of the political tussle over the country's most high-profile ED case. Arrested in Delhi liquor policy case on November 10, 2022, Sharath Chandra Reddy turned approver in June 2023 before getting bail on health grounds. But this wasn't the first time his Hyderabad pharma company got embroiled in a major political scandal. More than a decade before he was linked with the alleged Delhi liquor scam, Reddy's company was named accused in another high-profile CBI case related to Andhra Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy. On Thursday, the arrested Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal pointed out that Sharath Reddy paid rupees 54 crore to the BJP through electoral bonds.
So there are 6 words used in Section 3. Use, project, convert, etc. or receive. But none of this is shown. This was not even able to be shown in Manish Sisodia, who was one closer, allegedly. Kejriwal is one far removed. So you actually, and how do I argue this, Rajdeep? Your own grounds of arrest till yesterday are only these 4 chaps, these 4 star witnesses.
A review of bond data published by the Election Commission shows a gradual shift towards the BJP in the company's allocation since 2021 through its parent and subsidiaries Aurobindo Pharma, APL Healthcare and Eugia Pharma Specialities. The donation peaked at rupees 50 crores in November 2023. But who exactly is Sharath Reddy? According to corporate records, 39-year-old Reddy is a graduate in business administration with experience in procurement, logistics, clinical trials, trading and information technology. He's the son of the company's co-founder, P.V. Ramprasad Reddy, a clerk turned billionaire pharmacist. Sharath Reddy is married to the daughter of the current managing director, K. Nityanand Reddy. Even after his arrest, he was only relieved from the company's executive responsibilities, citing temporary inability to perform executive functions. However, he continued as a director on the board, reinforcing his ground in a huge pharma empire. Bureau Report, India Today.
So what exactly is Sharath Reddy's role in the Delhi excise policy case? How did he go from being an accused to being an approver? Munish Pandey decodes the Sharath Reddy case files.
P. Sharath Chandra Reddy, director of Aurobindo Pharma, arrested by ED on November 11, 2022. Accused turned approver in the Delhi excise policy case. He's the man at the centre of the Liquorgate dangle. The Enforcement Directorate says that Reddy, along with K. Kavita and other accused like Samir Mahendru, formed the South Group to allegedly get a favourable Delhi excise policy in return for kickbacks. So what exactly is Sarath Reddy's role? In its first remand application against Sarath Chandra Reddy, ED mentions that he managed to control 9 retail zones through proxies, a violation of the 2021-22 liquor policy. ED also submitted that he, along with his partners of South Cartel, paid 100 crores to AAP Communications in charge Vijay Nair as kickbacks. On 6th January 2023, ED filed its charge sheet in the liquor policy case and named Sarath Chandra Reddy as an accused. On 8th May 2023, he managed to secure bail on health grounds. On 1st June 2023, Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court allowed Reddy to turn approver in the case. Nearly a year later, on 22nd March 2024, ED arrested Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, calling him the kingpin of the scam. The agency based the arrest on statements of Sarath Chandra Reddy and other approvers, along with CDRs, WhatsApp chats and money trails. Countering the ED in court on 28 March, when Kejriwal questioned the role of Reddy in the probe, the agency said that the reason for Reddy's change of statement was documented before the Delhi High Court. The ED also rejected Kejriwal's charge that Sarath Reddy changed his statement and paid money to BJP through electoral bonds in order to get bail. With Munish Pandey in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
How strong is the legal case against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal? This will ultimately be decided in a court of law, but for what it's worth, we'll lay out the evidence before our viewers to try and get a sense of how compelling the evidence really is. Joining me on this broadcast, representing the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party at the centre, its spokesperson RP Singh, squaring off against RP Singh, Priyanka Kakkar of the Aam Aadmi Party. I want to go across to RP Singh first. On this matter raised by Arvind Kejriwal about one of the linchpins of this evidence that the ED says they have against the Delhi CM, it rests on a character named Sarath Reddy, who's the owner or part owner of Aurobindo Pharma. Now, what's very intriguing, and that's what I want you to explain, is that the bonds bought by Aurobindo Pharma between April 21 to October 22 are split between the BRS, the BJP and the TDP. Bonds worth 22 crore rupees. However, after Sarath Reddy is arrested by the ED in November 2022, the bonds that he buys are only for the BJP. After, in April 25, 2023, he records a statement with the ED where he says he met with Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Then he turns approver in June 21. After that, whatever bonds he bought are only for the BJP. And the BJP in November 2023 encashes those electoral bonds. This leads many people to wonder what's going on over here. If this is the linchpin of your case against the Delhi CM, why is he buying bonds only for the BJP after turning approver? And before his arrest, like any businessman would, he's hedging by distributing the bonds between the BJP, the BRS and the TDP. What's going on here, Sardar RP Singh?
Well, Rahul, you rightly placed it. Why was he buying bond for TDP, BRS and other parties also? I mean, as he was buying bond to give it to any political party, we were one of the political parties to whom he gave the bond.
That is before his arrest.
He's one of the directors in
before
one of the
his arrest, he's buying for everyone. After his arrest, he only buys for you. After turning approver, all the 25 crore rupees of bond are encashed on the 17th of November 2023 only by the BJP.
Thank you. But does that turn a point that he turned approval because of us or because of ED? No. I mean, if someone has to turn approval, the grant is given by the permission is granted by the High Court or the concerned court that yes, he can turn approval or not. Court can deny him the right of turning approval. And he was not the only one. You said Linchpin, he is not the only one. How about Mr. C. Arvind, who was the Minister Sodhia secretary? How about Mr. Bucci Babu, who was the K. Kavita's CA? How was Magunta Sri Nivas Reddy? How about Raghav Magunta? And how about Dinesh Arora and Samir Arora? I mean, this all has been mentioned on page number 18 with complete detail of the remand note of each and everyone's role and how they came together and gave money to Vijay Nair. And it's not only that, it's just one person who has turned approval. It's not only one person's witness which has turned the thing against him. And again, correlating bonds with this is not at all rated. I mean, otherwise, tell me one thing. How come that 100 crore rupees has been on record? And I'll give you one example from the election process. Other than Goa, which is in detail on page number 23 about how various Angris played role in transferring the money, and page number 23 and page number 25 of the remand note, how various Angris, and they are on record saying that he received money in crores, and there's some guy named Charanpreet Singh. But leave that aside. Give me a second. Leave that aside. The gentleman name from who was one of the contestant of the Aam Aadmi Party from Gujarat. He was caught red-handed with money.
Okay. And so the fundamental argument you are making, and I want Priyanka Kakkar to respond to it, you are basically making the point that it's not just Sarath Reddy. There are other people as well who've said similar things. So Sarath Reddy is an important part of the evidence against Kejriwal, but he's not the only evidence. There are other people, including Manish Sisodia's own PS, who's now turned approver. He's also talking about the evidence against AAP leaders, and Kejriwal in court is trying to make it seem as if it's all about Sarath Reddy. RP Singh argues that's not correct. Priyanka Kakkar.
Good evening to everyone, Rahul Kanwal ji. So let me begin sequentially by what Arvind Kejriwal ji said in court yesterday, and also I must ask you to please take note of the fact that the answer RP Singh gave for taking a bribe of 60 crores subsequent to the arrest of South Lobika kingpin Sarath Reddy is because there are other people also who made the statement. That is the answer he gave. So you must note that. Now what happened in this case is there is a statement of say one Dinesh Arora. Dinesh Arora's statement has been absolutely sire se kharij kar di gayi by the Supreme Court in its judgment dated 30th October 2023 in para number 10. Then subsequently there is a statement of C. Arvind. What did C. Arvind say? That at a meeting I was present and documents were given to Arvind Kejriwal ji. Is that a ground for arrest? That is a statement. Then Magunta Reddy, since he mentioned what happened in Magunta Reddy's case, he came to Delhi to meet the CM. He sought his time. After 10 days of his seeking the time, the CM called him to his office. Magunta Reddy wanted some land in Delhi for a trust, which Arvind Kejriwal ji said that land is not under me, but I will forward your request to the LG, so you might as well give me your letter. And subsequently he was hounded by the ED. He gave 6 statements to the ED, did not once mention Arvind Kejriwal ji despite a lot of duress. Finally in the 7th statement he gives us why was he giving statements? His son Raghava Reddy was also behind bars in the same case called a South Lobika kingpin. Finally, after the 7th statement where he gave a statement against Arvind Kejriwal ji, this person also, Raghava Reddy, his son, is granted bail, becomes an approver and has now joined South Lobika kingpin, jisko BJP ki ED bula rahi thi, has now joined the TDP, which is an alliance with the BJP, is part of the NDA government, is going to get an MP ticket in the upcoming elections. Then we come to P. Sarath Reddy, who the ED very categorically said is the South Lobika kingpin. And he, in fact, let me also tell you this interesting fact, that, you know, he was incarcerated for about 6 to 8 months. During his incarceration in jail, he went to the High Court, said that there is a lot of pressure on him to take Arvind Kejriwal ji's name, and he doesn't want to do that. There is no such case to be had. Unfortunately, by then there were PMLA provisions on him. The ED did not objected to his bail vehemently, sought his custody for further investigation. So his bail was rejected.
Okay.
Then subsequently, after about 6-8 months, In this 6-8 months, 60 crore go to BJP. He turns a Sarkari Gawah, gives a statement against Arvind Kejriwal ji, secures a bail, and the ED says they have no objection because Sarath Reddy has back
Munish
pain.
Pandey joins us. Munish Pandey is tracking the investigation by the Enforcement Directorate in this case. Is the ED's case largely based on the statements of these approvers who initially are saying they have no evidence against Kejriwal, suddenly after coming under whatever kind of duress or pressure, they say, yes, they met Kejriwal or Kejriwal facilitated the scam, and that is how the ED is building this case? Do they have any real material evidence, any financial trails, or is it largely based on these approvers and what they're saying after having been arrested by the ED, Munish?
Well, Rahul, there are 2 points here. First of all, the Enforcement Directorate claims that the evidence against Arvind Kejriwal is not only based on the evidence, but there are technical evidence and there is a money trail to show involvement of Arvind Kejriwal. For that, they have recorded statement of the Aam Aadmi Party candidates who fought elections on AAP ticket in Goa, and what they have claimed, according to Enforcement Directorate in their statement, is that they were given cash money by the Aam Aadmi Party, and they have also taken Arvind Kejriwal's name. As far as technical evidence is concerned, they are claiming that they have a phone conversation between Arvind Kejriwal and Sameer Mahendru, one of the accused in the case, in which Mr. Arvind Kejriwal stated that Vijayanar is my boy, you can trust him. And the third part is the statements in which people have taken name of Arvind Kejriwal regarding the meetings and regarding the excise policy. Also, Rahul, I spoke to my sources within the Enforcement Directorate about the allegations being made by the Aam Aadmi Party that whether there was any arm twisting or whether there was any play of electoral bonds in turning Mr. Sharath Reddy approver in the case. So first of all, they told me that according to law, any person who is turning approver has to be accused in the case. No person, for example, a witness cannot be turned approver in a case. The person has to be accused and the person has to be arrested for his role. And also they said that whenever we record a statement of any accused in the case, for first few instances they deny their allegations. But when we confront them with certain evidence in the case during the course of investigation, then only we can gather evidence against the concerned person. And here in the case of Sharath Reddy, they are claiming that they confronted Sharath Reddy with those evidence regarding the meetings, regarding the money trails, and that is when they decided to...
So Vikas Singh joins me now. Vikas Singh is a senior advocate in the Supreme Court of India, former Additional Solicitor General. Mr. Singh, from what you can see in the public eye, how strong, according to you, is the evidence against the Delhi Chief Minister in the Liquorgate case?
Well, to be honest, I have not seen the evidence, but whatever I have read about this case so far, according to me, there has been political funding. Whether the ED will be able to prove it or not is a separate matter altogether. But there is no personal corruption. There is a political funding, which we all know every political party does. But according to me, there is no case made out for his arrest because every citizen has a right to remain silent and to not answer questions if he feels that that question is likely to implicate him.
No, but here's my specific question. How much credence would you give to the statements of an approver who, for the first several times when he's asked the question about the linkage with Arvind Kejriwal, says nothing, after he's arrested and in custody of the Enforcement Directorate, later says that he was part of a meeting and Kejriwal facilitated the scam. But this person is an approver. How much credence would you lay to statements made by approvers, given that they clearly have a vested interest and that they'd like to do and say whatever to get bail and to ensure that the agency gets off their back?
So as far as, statement of anybody while in custody is concerned, it is of no consequence, no use in a trial. And a trial judge will not even look at it. I mean, you may use it today for the purpose of denying him bail, but this is not something which can be said to be admissible in evidence.
You're saying that these approver testimonies don't really stand for much in court? No, unless he continues to make that statement when the trial goes. So this is a statement which has been made to the police while in custody. So really speaking, this statement made today... But if he says the same thing in court, then it has consequence.
No, even if he says this in court, he is also a co-accused. So it doesn't have that kind of evidentiary value to, convict somebody.
No, but the other thing in this case is that if you look at the purchase record of electoral bonds of someone like a Sarath Reddy, when he is not arrested between April 21 and October 22, he's buying bonds for the BRS, the BJP and the TDP. Then he gets arrested. Then he's only buying bonds for the BJP. After he turns approver on June 1, 2023, all the bonds that he bought, 25 crore rupees of them, are only for the BJP. Now that by itself doesn't mean anything, doesn't suggest anything. But when you look at it together, you wonder, dal mein kuch kala hai. Now earlier he's buying bonds for everyone. After turning approver, after being arrested, he's only buying bonds for one party.
So, I mean, that is something which is, the answer is in your question itself. I really don't need to answer that question because, I mean, if this the person is buying a bond of a political party which is controlling the ED directly, then definitely that also will, show that there is something more than what meets the eye. But
no, but can the government prosecution get away by saying, "Humne nahi bola, ye to khud hi kar raha tha. Like we didn't ask him to buy these bonds. He thought he can buy these bonds and buy protection." Because they can also defend it, saying, "We didn't ask him to buy these bonds. He's gotten bought of themselves. How are you blaming us? We never asked him to buy these bonds."
No, so as far as the evidentiary value of buying these bonds are concerned, it is only a circumstantial evidence which the trial judge, when a trial judge examines the matter in totality, he has to look at every evidence and he has to realize or take a call whether the ocular evidence which has come before him and the circumstances under which the evidence comes, whether it is all credible or not. So this will also go against the credibility of the witness, which he says after. That's why I said that his statement, even if he goes ultimately in court and makes this statement, this circumstance will definitely, attach a lack of credibility towards his evidence. So that his evidence per se or on its own cannot be used for conviction of somebody. So all this will go in favor of Kejriwal as far as the trial is concerned. And according to me, whatever I have heard so far, the money trail has not been established completely in the sense that the donor is there, sender is there, but there is no recipient who has received the money. So unless that stitching up happens, there is no. So the only disadvantage or the suffering that Mr. Kejriwal will have to go through is this arrest which he is going through now, which according to me is completely illegal. Because if he had to destroy any evidence, he would have destroyed that by now already, because he was out for this. This matter has been out in the open for a very long time. So there is no question of him remaining out and destroying any evidence.
So that's
the rest of the evidence is all mostly document based, or which is already collected by the agencies, and he has a right of silence. So you can't say that because he's not cooperating with the investigation, he needs to be kept in custody, because that will be completely violating his fundamental right guaranteed under Article 20, Subclause 3 of the Constitution of India. So I don't see this trial really going anywhere except for the short run of,
No, but the short run is when there's an election campaign going on as well, and you've basically knocked the Delhi Chief Minister out of the electoral contest. That's Vikas Singh, President of the Supreme Court Bar Association, former Additional Solicitor General from 2005-2008, very clear in his words. And I'll just leave it to our viewers to determine what they make of what Vikas Singh and the others have said on this show. Thank you very much for tuning in. I also want to show our viewers this report about what the Delhi Chief Minister's wife is now trying to do. Sunita Kejriwal trying to step up to the plate in the absence of her husband, and also putting out a WhatsApp message saying Kejriwal ko do Ashirwad, and wanting people to reach out and join the campaign. So while Kejriwal is trying to fight this battle in court, legally his wife and family and party now trying to generate some sympathy around the fact that the Delhi Chief Minister has been arrested. Take a look at this report.
आपने अरविंद जी को अपना भाई, अपना बेटा कहा है। क्या इस लड़ाई में आप अपने भाई, अपने बेटे का साथ नहीं देंगे?
The third public address by the wife of Arvind Kejriwal, who has been in Enforcement Directorate custody for over a week.
आज से हम एक अभियान शुरू कर रहे हैं, जिसका नाम है केजरीवाल को आशीर्वाद।
Standing in for the Delhi Chief Minister and launching a campaign named Kejriwal Ko Ashirwad, the Aam Aadmi Party has stood for anything but Parivarwad in politics. But Sunita Kejriwal has front-footed her husband's cause as his partner, appealing to Delhi's public to send him blessings and prayers, promising to deliver all messages to him directly in lockup.
सभी युवा, महिलाएं, बुजुर्ग, बच्चे, अमीर, गरीब, सब लोग अपने भाई, अपने बेटे अरविंद जी को कुछ ना कुछ जरूर लिखें।
With her husband's custody extended till April 1st, Sunita Kejriwal, with 3 such videos and counting, has become the Chief Minister's principal voice. Sources say Mrs. Kejriwal will make public statements of this kind every few days to keep the heat and the connect. As a campaign for sympathy rages on the outside, the pressure on Kejriwal is increasing. The Enforcement Directorate has accused the Delhi Chief Minister of withholding crucial details, including passwords to devices, tax and financial details, adding that Kejriwal is not cooperating in the investigation. The Aam Aadmi Party has cranked up its counter-attack on the BJP.
कुछ महीने पुराने फोन में अरविंद केजरीवाल के क्या मिलेगा? कुछ महीने पुराने फोन में लोकसभा चुनाव लड़ने की स्ट्रैटेजी मिलेगी। तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के फोन का पासवर्ड ईडी को नहीं चाहिए। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के फोन का पासवर्ड भारतीय जनता पार्टी को चाहिए।
क्या केजरीवाल जी कंफ्यूज्ड हैं या हम सबको कंफ्यूज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि सवाल तो यहाँ पे रिश्वतखोरी का है ना, पूरे शराब घोटाले का है, इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स का नहीं है। इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स तो खरीदे जाते हैं एक चेक देकर, बैंक के अंदर जाकर। ये तो छुप छुपाकर कैश के जरिए हवाला ऑपरेशंस के तहत ये तो पैसा दिया जाता है एक तरह से ब्लैक मनी के तौर पर, रिश्वतखोरी के तौर पर।
On Sunday, the opposition India Alliance will roar in support of Kejriwal from Delhi's famous Ramleela Maidan, the very same venue from where Kejriwal had shot into India's consciousness via the Anna Hazare fast unto death.
जब पुख्ता सबूत ईडी कोर्ट के सामने रखे गए तो ईडी कोर्ट को मजबूरन अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को फिर से 4 दिन के लिए ईडी की हिरासत में भेजना पड़ा।
सीएम को गिरफ्तार किया गया है, ईडी के पास कोई सबूत नहीं है। आज खुद सीएम सर ने कोर्ट के सामने अपनी बात रखी है। इतनी लंबी चौड़ी ईडी की जितनी चार्जशीटें दाखिल हुई हैं, उनमें से केवल 4 जगह पे उनका नाम है और उसमें भी कोई सबूत नहीं है।
The war of the Kejriwals is gunning up to the top gear now. Bureau Report, India Today.
We'll continue tracking this case very closely.